Hey guys, and welcome to the first edition of our Footy Talks podcast for the 2017-18 season. Today I'm going to be joined by Crumpets Tea Gaming, Robo Neuer, Matty Plays and Brummy Joe. Their links are all down below, guys, so make sure to go and check them out also. Today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking Premier League predictions for the upcoming season. We'll be doing quite a few of them today. We kind of went over a bit of time when we recorded this. It was up to about 3 hours, I think. So we crammed it down, made it into three little episodes for you. So you'll get the first little chunk of them in this episode. Then there'll be one coming out tomorrow and another one coming out the day after. So hopefully you'll enjoy all three episodes, guys. We're going to start it off. Crumpets Tea Gaming is going to be hosting it, so he'll be doing all that good stuff. I can sit back, relax, and just talk football. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Right, so what we're going to do, right, is we're going to go E to Z of each team. We're basically going to give a prediction of where you think they'll finish, and then maybe a little brief kind of thing of like why you think they'll finish there. So that it kind of, you don't have to give a brief one if you don't want to, but you can if you want. And then what we'll do is around New Year time, we'll check it again, and we'll see where our teams are. At that time,
see how badly we've got it wrong.
See all the ones what we've got wrong, and then at the end we'll see again how much we've got wrong as well. So
I'm betting on the amount of people actually getting it, getting more than 5 teams right. It's probably like 0.
Yeah. If I get one right, I'll be pretty happy.
Just imagine if someone got them all right. That would be crazy. So how good it would be not to bet on that.
Premier League.
Yeah.
Absolutely fixed.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Better be careful about Newcastle. Okay then. I think they'll be happy with where I've got yours, to be honest, because that's
Please
quite a
say
compliment.
you didn't put Newcastle at the top of the
They'll
list.
be happy where I've put.
What, 20th?
So, guys watching on my stream, this is going to be a lot of fun, I think, because we're just going to be talking about the Premier League for a few. For how long? How long are we aiming for here? Hour and
Basically until we've got it all done, basically.
Right. Okay.
They've got all the teams done, and everyone's done the prediction.
So yeah. Nothing under 17th place. Well, we'll have to find out. But I've got my chat going on here, so if I feel like I've got something to contribute from my chat on the stream, then I will. But
yeah,
I won't be butting in all the time, hopefully.
All right. What we're going to do is we're going to do an alphabetical order. So obviously we'll start with Brummy Joe, then me, then G, then Matty, then Robo next. I was going to say Robo there again.
Yeah. Or Mike.
Yeah, on Mike. Yeah,
somewhat.
But
yeah, it ruins the alphabetical order. Like that.
But we're gonna go A to Z on each team, like I said.
I haven't got them in A to Z. I've got them in position order, so that's going to be fun. You're just going to announce them.
Crumpets is big, Crumpets a bit awkward.
You can do it now if you want. If you want to redo it or whatever.
No,
I did see this.
And just look
and then everyone's put in number order.
No. What I've done is I literally, in the order I have it, and I just wrote 1 to 20 to the right of them, so I can just look across.
Yeah.
That's a smart move.
Definitely, yeah. Well done, buddy. Well done.
What can I say? I'm a fucking genius.
There he is.
Clean
very
stream, guys.
clean.
Stream. Please.
Great. Thanks for the editing I've got to do, boys. Thank you.
I knew it would be the southerner. It's always the southerner. Right. So we're starting off with Arsenal. We'll go with you, Joe. Where do you think that'll
Well,
okay. I'm looking forward to this.
I mean, they finished second last season.
Hang on a second. Isn't it AFC Bournemouth?
finish? Arsenal finished second. I wish they did. To finish second.
What league are you looking at, mate?
Right.
What about 10 years ago?
I've just put in the league table just to have a reminder, and I put in 15, 16, and all. Right. Okay, yeah, I'm a bit more happy with my prediction now because I've had them to finish 6th. Now that would actually be a drop. I thought they've brought in Lacazette, but I think a lot of the teams around them are also doing some building. Now I don't know if they're going to do any more than get Lacazette and if it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to put them straight into the top 4. So I think 6 is best for me, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I've got them 6th as well. Obviously, they were 5th last season. They have signed Lacazette, which I think is an awesome signing, a really good signing. He'll probably get a lot of goals. But I think that being in Europe, I think that there's a lot of clubs like in the Europa what are smaller clubs who are probably going to go into there and kick the life out of Arsenal in them games. I really do.
Let's hope.
And I think that the fact that they've got like a lot of injury-prone players as well, I think that that's going to come into effect if they don't buy anybody before the start of the season, and I think that will affect them big time if they do that. So that's why I've on the 6th.
That's it. That's the same every year, though, mate. In fairness.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely the same every year.
Yeah.
Well, myself, I've got them as 5th because I can't see the current squad they've got actually challenging for the title, so they'll miss out on the top 4. Definitely need some big signings. Yeah, Lacazette, great goal scorer in France. Can he do it in the Premier League where it's tougher? He's got to be a bit more physical for him. Yeah. I'm still not convinced that he'll be able to do it, but they still need a few more. I know they're linked with Mahrez at the moment.
Yeah.
He could provide a lot of attacking impetus for them. But they could lose Ox, they could lose Walcott and Giroud as well. So it's a tough one. I don't think they're going to be strong enough and miss out on the top 4 just and in 5th place.
Does anyone think that Mahrez is a good signing though?
I think he'll be better. He'll be better at Arsenal than he was at Leicester last season.
Name another left-footed winger we've got at our club.
Another what, sorry?
Left-footed winger that we've got at our club.
Exactly.
We need a left-footed winger because that's been our big problem. Is that everyone is a winger. It's basically been right-footed, so they're either going on the outside of the right-hand side or coming in from the left. So it's a bit one-dimensional, really.
Yeah.
So left-foot.
Well, you could be losing 2 of your wide men in Walcott and Ox anyway.
Yeah.
I reckon that Ox is going to stay until the end of the season and see how it's come.
Yeah, it depends if Klopp really wants him.
Yeah.
But we'll get on to that later.
All right, Matty. There you go.
I have them 6th, and like the answer for that is I just don't think they're better than the top 5. I think there is 5 teams in the division that are a lot better than Arsenal, and there's only 5. I just think they're not up there anymore, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to bring it back to last season where there's a lot of Wenger out, Wenger in, but I think they need a change, and I don't see Arsenal getting back into the top 4 with the structure they have, the tactics that Arsenal's playing. I don't see them getting into the top 4, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're better than the top 5.
Yeah.
That's just
Roll.
Okay, so you may not know that I'm an Arsenal fan.
No, we didn't get that.
No. So for me, obviously, Arsenal, bit of a touchy subject. It has been for the last years. I've been asked about whether it's been Wenger in and Wenger out. Honestly, I don't really care. I've just been saying that Arsenal need to do well. I've got them down as 4th. Now, I've realised no one else has backed them to finish top 4 at all.
You're very optimistic.
That's going to be interesting come mid-year and then towards the end of the year. But I do actually think, firstly, the signing of Lacazette that happened after, or at least everything with his Lacazette has happened after I actually predicted him to finish 4th. So I actually think this, with Kolasinac as well, who's come in as a left wing back, and he's actually a very, very good left wing back. He's perfect for that role. Last season, when we did that 3-5-2, we basically had a place where we had to find 2 wing backs, and we tried Monreal on the left, it didn't really work. We tried Oxlade-Chamberlain on the right, that worked brilliantly. And then Bellerin's a perfect wing back, but I don't think we could keep him. That's all. Bellerin's probably going to go. Sanchez, I think, is going to go, although it has been said this morning that he may actually stay. He's been pictured as he's been pictured in an Arsenal shirts, which for the Arsenal media, which is surprising, nonetheless. And there's been a report from Chile that he's actually decided to stay. So that's a bit of hope. There's a lot to be decided, though.
He turned around and said that he decided where he wants, where he's going to be, but he didn't see that he was leaving.
No, didn't say he was staying.
This is a new report that came from last night, pretty much last night, this morning. It's nothing to do with that one that happened just after the Confederations Cup, where he was said that he'd made a decision. He's made his decision. That was before the Confederations Cup, actually. Before that finished, I think, before the final.
It was in the sort of final sort of press conference.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And then there's who was it now? We have been linked with Lamar as well, and I think if we can pull off maybe one other signing other than Lacazette, and we get in Mahrez or Lamar or something like that, I think we can definitely be. Obviously, I'm being a bit biased. I can't really hold that back. I'm an Arsenal fan, so it's not going to happen. But I do think a lot of last season as well was very affected by the Wenger saga. And with that now, I don't think that's going to be as much of an issue now because he's not in his final year of his contract and he never breaks his contract at Arsenal. So there you go. And also I do think Lacazette's going to make a massive difference. I really do.
Oh, definitely.
I really do.
I do.
Whether comparing it to the other teams, I wouldn't agree totally that they haven't got as good players as the top. What did you say? The top 5?
Yeah.
I
4 or
think
5.
Yeah.
as a squad, they're very, very close to quite a lot of other teams in there. I think the biggest difference is the psychology of it. I think when it gets to a lot of the tougher games last season, the games we failed at were when teams really stood up against us, like Watford. Who was it? Chelsea. They just the game at Stamford Bridge. Middlesbrough. I think we might have lost that one as well. I can't remember now.
I think he drew actually.
I'm trying to think. Swansea was another one actually, though, where we just literally didn't turn up. So if we can be a bit more consistent as well next season, then there's no reason why we couldn't finish top 4. Having said that, that should not be the aim for Arsenal this season. Arsenal's aim this season should definitely be to be winning something, whether it be a cup or a league or something. Do one of the champion or in the Europa League. But I would say that I don't think Wenger's going to take it that seriously as well. I think he's going to probably put quite a few young uns in the Europa League and basically focus on the Premier League, try and do as well as he can in that. So
do you think they'll win Europa? Because I think they should. I think that Arsenal should win Europa. I honestly do. I think they should dominate Europa easily. They should easily win that.
I'm not sure they're good enough. I don't think they're good. I've seen teams. I was watching Lyon and Ajax. Lyon more because of Lacazette and just kind of researching what he's been like. His goals against Roma were absolutely brilliant. The goal singular. I think he only scored one, but he set up the other one. Really, really good. But yeah, some of the quality of the teams there. I think Man United won it purely through grit and determination. I'm not really sure that
Ajax didn't really turn up in the final.
Yeah,
sorry?
Ajax didn't really turn up.
Ajax didn't turn up.
Yeah. But in fairness, I think I backed Man United to win the Europa League last season, because they are streets ahead in terms of the grit and determination compared to the youngsters that you'll see in a lot of those teams there. Yeah.
Right, moving on. Matty's team, Bournemouth. Joe, where do you reckon?
I've had Bournemouth down to finish 10th. I thought. Actually, let's see where they finished last season. Okay, so that'd be down 1 again.
Yeah.
But I think the league's getting tougher. Just on BeQuiet, who's a solid goalkeeper. Defoe's a big one. I know you like Defoe. I mean, it's going to be a touchy subject for you.
Nah, I'm not bothered me. It doesn't bother me at all.
Of course. Don't worry about it.
Honestly.
He's just crying inside.
He's not stopped crying yet.
Like, I think these signings are going to help them, but obviously they're getting players that's coming to the end of their career, apart from Ake. But yeah, I think they're going to have a good season again, but it's going to be hard to replicate the season they had last year. I still have them down to have a good season though, and that's why I've gone 10th.
Yeah, I've gone for 11th, so 2 lower. But the reason, I think they've done well with people who they've brought in. I think they've done all right, apart from obviously that Mahoney, which not a lot of people know him, including Matty, who is a Bournemouth fan. So,
well, fucking clue.
Exactly, but he's young though. He's young. I think Defoe's going to make a massive difference, but I think that the thing is now, can he still do it? That's the thing. Can he still do it? Fair enough, he'd done it for us. He scored 8 goals or whatever it was, but that wasn't a bad team. Bournemouth's a better team than Sunderland, definitely. But he's got no pace. He's got absolutely no pace. And I think Bournemouth might struggle to keep a hold of King if someone comes in from. I honestly think that someone might come in from, and if they do, and they offer them big money, decent price, they'll sell them. And the main reason why, definitely more than anything, is that defense. That defense is bad, in my opinion. It's very leaky, and I know they brought Aki in, but one player doesn't make it back four. It doesn't make it back four. So
And he was there last season, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Only the first half.
yeah.
First
He got
half of it.
recalled, but
Wow.
I just think that one player doesn't really matter. Like, you need to do at least two, like mainly centre backs, to like affect that back four at all. And for me, I just think that it's going to be too hard for them defensively, and that's why they're going to finish 11th. That's all I've got.
Well, I've got them 10th place. They have splashed a bit of cash, as you have said. Bringing in Ake was the big one. You know, Begovic coming in, really good goalkeeper, but he is at the back end of his career. Will he do the business? I think he would do. I think he'll be a pretty good goalkeeper at, you know, mid-table sort of team. Ake's the big signing though, and Defoe, as you said, Crump, not got pace anymore, but he's not had pace for about 3 years now. He's still been scoring goals, as you said, in a really bad team.
Yeah.
You said it, not me.
It's true. It's true.
You know, it is true. It's a really bad team, and he was scoring goals, so I think he'll be all right. I'm a bit concerned that he signed a 3-year contract, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
you know,
That's a long
3-year contract. He's going to be what, like 38? His contract ends. Jeez. But I think he'll do all right. But I could see them, you know, comfortable mid-table position, which is pretty good for Bournemouth. You know, what was it, their 3rd season in the top flight? And I could see them having a good cup run in one of the cups, you know, League Cup or the FA Cup. See them maybe getting semis or final, maybe even winning one. So be a good season for a club of Bournemouth size, and 10th place mid-table. Nothing to be ashamed of
Definitely
at all.
not.
Well, I've got us finishing 9th. This is the best squad we've ever had, and I think this is the year that we can finish above Southampton. You guys make quite a few decent points about the fact, like Defoe, his aging, is he going to be good enough for the squad? Begovic aging, but Boric was probably our best player last year, one of our best players last year, and he's 37. You know, we've had, regardless of their age, Defoe, if he plays this season and if he's on the bench next season, he's still going to have a major impact on the team, whether it's like being the John Terry like he was last year. Begovic is only 29. You know, goalkeepers come into their prime at this stage, and Ake is the big sign. And I feel like you're right, Crumpets, that our defense is leaky. But when we had Ake, it looked a lot more solid. It looked very, very solid with him and Cook. We had Francis playing his natural position where he wants to play, out on the right. Daniel's on the left. This is, like I said, it is the best team that we have. I still think we will be making improvements. I think the only place that we need to improve now, truthfully, is just signing the Wilshere replacement. That's the only position I can see us needing someone right now.
As an Arsenal fan, I've been following Wilshere's progress at Bournemouth, and to be honest, he didn't seem like he was really impacting the team in the second half of the season. I don't know what happened, whether it was an injury or just
no, it's not. I don't think it's the fact that he wasn't playing well. It's just the fact that because of his reputation, he was playing there, and we don't have a replacement. Like, Wilshere was playing near enough game in, game out all season last year. So I feel like if we get another player to play in his position, whether he was as good, whether he was as bad as Wilshere, just someone that actually was creative like Wilshere.
Would you have Wilshere back? Would you actually buy him? Like, would you be happy if you just bought him? No,
I wouldn't be happy if we bought him, just because the injuries. Like, he got a horrible injury away at Tottenham last year, and I called it at the beginning of the season that he was going to get an injury, a big injury.
And have such a hard time trying to get rid of him.
Really are. There's not really someone that I would, like, off the top of my head, I couldn't name someone that I would want in there.
The price of him and his wages is just not worth the hassle.
Plus, not even that, it's a massive risk.
Yeah,
it's a massive risk taking someone like Wilshere.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I think we'll finish 9th.
Yeah, it's a bit like Diaby. You remember Diaby at Arsenal?
Yeah.
Eduardo, I think, was another one. He had one bad injury, and all of a sudden, then he starts to become a liability.
Yeah, that was our
No
fault.
one ever came in really for a
Yeah.
proper.
Sorry.
No one came in for a proper bid for them really. I don't think anyone's going to do the same thing with Wilshere as well.
Probably not. Probably just work his contract out and get dropped.
Well, what we'll do is we'll wait till his contract's going. Only got 1 year left, and all the big teams will start coming in because that seems to happen to every one of our players at the moment. As soon as they hit their final year of their contract, it's like, bye, see you later. I don't know, you're staying. No, I'm going. Anyway.
Then you'll offer them 300 grand a week.
Yeah.
I doubt. Then again, you never know with the way Wenger's been going on lately. He might. With Bournemouth, I think I've been so impressed with Bournemouth. I think they are a model club for anyone who's coming up from the Championship, but haven't really got a massive fan base. They can still come a really, really long way with good quality football. And I did write about Defoe a little bit. I think he could be the clinical goal scorer that Bournemouth have missed. They've not really had one of those for ages. I think pretty much since they came up from the Championship, and Callum Wilson was knocking him in week in, week out. That combination of Defoe and how he fits that in with Wilson, and I've got a couple of wingers in there as well. I've forgotten the names. There's really, really fast guy who was playing for Ryan Fraser, probably.
No. It's
Ibe.
There won't be Ibe. He's always on the bench.
Not English. I can't remember where he's from. But anyway, they've definitely got a. In fact, it might be good for me to actually get the team up on FIFA. Anyway, I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, I think they'll do really, really well this year. I've got them down as 10th, and I think top 10 for them is as good as they can probably hope for at the moment. But that's no real shame at all. I think they're really, really well. I'm trying to think. There was something else. Oh yeah, Ake. So I think the thing with Ake as well is because he's so fast and he's a centre back, they can afford to press really, really high with that team. And I always say when you've got fast centre backs, they can always chase back and get any kind of runs in behind against that press, and that will make them a much more forceful team, I think, than they may have been at times last season when they had to kind of dig deep and defend a lot of the time. So that should be quite interesting to see, and he'll also be improving and maturing as a player as well. It was a permanent signing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Signing. Yeah. So that's brilliant. That's a really, really good signing for them. It would be interesting to see if they could sign, obviously, a Wilshere replacement, another good midfielder, and they should be in the market for a good young midfielder who Eddie Howe. Come on, I've got a question though. Is Eddie Howe actually going to leave Bournemouth in the next year or two? Do you think?
If he does, I'll cry like a baby.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking because it's quite a turbulent time at the top of the Premier League at the moment. There's Pep Guardiola, who's not exactly guaranteed to stay after this year if things don't go well.
No.
Wenger, his situation is always turbulent.
Yeah.
Mourinho is under pressure now to do something in terms of the Premier League, having finished 6th last year. And Klopp has been there at Liverpool for 1.5. Wait, no, is it 2.5 years?
No,
1.5. Yeah, 1.5 years now, and he's been promised to win the Premier League within 3, I think it was, or something. So
yeah, well, there you go. Still got another year and a half to go.
If you can win the Premier League by January, I think you can definitely do it. But yeah, with that one, I do think that there is a lot of turbulence happening in the Premier League at the moment in different jobs. So whether he's just holding out for a really, really big job, and he may well be offered it. I'd love to see him at Arsenal. I think when Wenger steps down, that would be a fantastic signing for us. I think he's got exactly the right kind of football brain that we need to have at our club. But we'll have to wait and see.
Probably waiting for the Southampton job, probably.
Southampton.
I've nearly done a swear there, Jay. That was close.
Yeah.
I don't think Carl would do that because he loves Bournemouth.
He does absolutely love Bournemouth. But I do think that there's no smoke without fire. People have been putting his name around for ages with different jobs. I think it's a matter of time before Bournemouth have to let him go. because he is a young manager. He's learning his trade, whether it be 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years.
I'd say maybe 2 years before he goes.
But
it'll be with a heavy heart when he goes. Like,
oh yeah.
I think the big thing is though, right, is that obviously like Bournemouth's a good team, right? Don't get me wrong, I like them, but he's not used to managing a lot of money. Like when it comes to buying big players and stuff like that. So if he does go to a really big club, will he be able to do that? Will he do a Moyes and just crumble? Like Moyes was at Everton for years, never had that much money.
At Arsenal, for sure, definitely.
Oh yeah. Well, he's spent what 15 on Hyde last year. He's what? How much was that game? Was it 18?
20.
20 was it in total? But yeah, that's what I mean. He's spending money which like teams around 8th upwards sort of spend. Like you'll see like the West Ham's throwing that sort of money around. You know, United would easily, Liverpool would. You know, the top teams will throw 20 million on a player quite comfortably. And he seems comfortable enough to do that, so I think he could do it. To be honest, I don't think he'll be a Moyes. Yeah. I think he'll do a really good job.
We might have to move on, guys, because I've just seen the time.
Yeah, we've done 2 and it's like 11 o'clock.
Right, come on, move.
Right, I think we'll just keep it a bit shorter.
Yeah.
Next one, Brighton. Joe.
Oh, we don't care about them. We can just move on.
Nah, this was it was a bit of a tough one for me, to be fair, because I thought, oh, do they have enough to really stay up? I think I was trying to decide between 17th and 18th whether they drop into the bottom 3, but I have just put them in the bottom 3 on 18th. I'm not sure what kind of signings they're making at the minute, actually, but
none.
None.
None at the minute.
They signed that Matthew Brighton, who's an OK goalkeeper from Valencia.
Oh yeah. They sold their goalie to us. Well, we gave him in a free, didn't we? So so I had to get Blues in there at some point, you know. But yeah, I just think they're gonna have an all right season, but just not quite enough to stay up.
Yeah. Well, I've got them bottom. I've got them 20th. I know that Matthew Ryan, fair enough, he is a really good goalkeeper. I really do rate him quite highly. And obviously, like, no disrespect to Stockdale, I think he's way better than him. Like, he's a way better goalkeeper than him.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I think Brighton's going to really struggle to get players in there. I really do. And I think that the difference between their team and the Premier League is huge. It's massive, and I really think they're going to struggle this season. I think that it's going to be so tough that they're not even going to even know what it's like, because obviously they haven't. I don't even think they've ever been up, have they? Like, not as.
This is their first time in the Premier League.
Yeah. So.
It's not been in it since being Prem or the
Yeah. So
apparently there's not.
It's huge.
The whole Premier League. So.
It's a huge difference between Championship and Premier League, and they're going to really feel that, and they're going to struggle to sign people. If they do sign people, they'll probably do like what Sunderland do, where they sign free agents who are all old and done, and they're going to struggle. Like, I know that Matthew Ryan, they got him, but that's probably because he never gets games. It's probably the only reason. He never ever gets games. But other than that, I just think that their team as a whole aren't good enough, and that's why they're going to go down. Personally, bottom. That's what I reckon.
Well, I'm going to disagree with both of you guys, because I've got them at 15th.
Wow.
Yep. The thing is, though, Houghton, I rate him highly as a manager. He did a great job getting them automatic promotion last season, and I think he'll do a more impressive job this time and keep them safe. Won't be spectacular, it won't be great football, but he'll keep them safe. Reckon just a couple of key signings, not big names, just key positions, and I could see them surviving quite decently. Now 3-4 points gap between them and the bottom 3, I reckon. That's my take on it.
I do like Chrissy Houghton, to be fair.
I've got them finishing rock bottom.
I wonder why.
I hope I'm so right here.
Because the fact that they're Brighton, that is partially the reason why. But if you look at their squad, if you look at some of their squad, it's literally built of players that weren't good enough in the Premier League. 3 players off the top of my head I can name off right now: Glenn Murray, Knocker, Steve Sidwell. Three players that were really influential for them last year, who were not good enough for the Premier League. Norwood played in the Premier League as well. I just don't. I think they're going to need a lucky horseshoe wedged up their arse for the 36 games, because then I'm not confident in them surviving this year. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Simple. Moving on.
I'm not confident in them surviving, although I think they'll give it a really, really good push. I think they've got a cavalier style of football, which is quite akin to Bournemouth when they first came up to the Premier League, actually. So I think that'll be a lot be a lot of fun to watch. But I can't see them. I have got them at 18th, so it's not like I'm saying they're absolutely doomed. I think that it's a really, really close fight down there. There's a lot of good teams. But I do think Matthew Ryan is a really, really good signing. I had a look at him, and it's quite a big frame, and a very, very imposing goalkeeper. So he will be.
He's
good
a stocky lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he in the
It's like
championship team of the season though?
Sorry?
Was he in the championship team of the season though?
Oh, relax.
I don't think he's even in the championship last year. I thought he came from Liverpool.
Yeah,
He's thought about Stockdale because he's buzzing that Birmingham signing.
Oh, right. Fair enough. But I also think Chris Hughton is a very, very good manager as well. And I think even if they go down, he may well end up finding himself in a Premier League job this time next year anyway. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, really. But that's, there's not really much else to add, I don't think. They're a good team, but they might just miss out.
Next.
Right, Burnley. Burnley's a tough one.
Burnley.
I think it's a very tough one.
Who wants to start with this one?
Yeah.
Joe's on this.
Right then. Let's see. Burnley. Where have I got them? Okay, I've got them 19th. Yeah. I can't see him doing as well this season, and I mean, they're looking at signing a Sambalanga. Am I right?
Rejected.
Has it been rejected? But I think they only offered 8 mil, didn't they? Really, and that's nothing for.
I think it was like 8.5 or something.
Yeah. So I think they might go. They might be putting a few more bids in. But is he going to be able to make that step up? And I think with Keane going, and I think what's his name up front?
Gray.
Yeah, Andre Gray. I think he's going to go as well. I just think they're going to start leaking a few more goals, because I think last season they were getting a few little 1-0ers, and I think the defence is going to get a bit weaker, and they're not going to be able to get them goals. So I just can't see them doing it.
I've got them 16th. I think they'll survive, but I think, well, they're going to finish in the same. I've got them in the same position as what they did last season. Last season, they had a really good home record, and I think that was basically what made them finish there. Definitely, the home record is really good. They're really good at home, but that was with Keane, and I think Andre Gray will leave as well. I honestly do. And
where would he go?
I don't know.
Everton are linked with him.
Someone like that, bro.
Like, I honestly wouldn't have him. I think that he's a liability.
Well, Everton have said they're talking to Burnley at the moment about him.
He's a good player, but on a personal level, like the way he is in normal life, he's a bit of a liability.
He's a bit of a genital, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a bit of an idiot. But 16th, I just think that they're going to struggle to sign people as well. I know that they're getting money, obviously, for Keane, like, what was it, 25 rising to 30 or something like that. But I just think, all in all, I just don't think there'll be a lot of people what will want to go there. I honestly don't. So that's why I've got them 16. G?
Well, I've gone 19th. They did brilliant to survive last season. But as you both said, about selling off Keane and possibly Gray and maybe others, just don't think they're going to be able to replace them. And the quality's not there for them to survive. And 19th place, bye-bye, down to the Championship to join Sunderland.
Anytime you can get that in, you always mention it, don't you? Thanks.
Oh, I have to, mate. I have to. Come on.
I have Burnley in 19th. I just think it's going to be the case of second season syndrome for Burnley. I don't know. I just think that they relied heavily on their home form last year, heavily on their home from last year. They were one of the one of the top teams in the league at home.
I think they
Yeah,
had
I
the
think they were
best
fourth on the table.
at one point.
Was it?
But I think, I don't know, I just don't have confidence in Burnley. I feel like the sale of Michael Keane's going to affect them very, very badly.
Yeah.
Bottom line, I have no faith in Burnley. Simple.
I'm surprised at the negativity around Burnley here. I really am, because they are a good team. They have a lot of spirit, and I think when Arsenal played them last season, they only beat them 1-0 twice, both times with a late goal, really, really late goals. You have to fight to beat this team, and I do think, regardless of what signings they make, they're not going to change how they play. And that ground, Turf Moor, is an absolute nightmare to play out for any team. So I do think I've got them down as 13th. I think they're going to have another good solid season. I do think they're going to try and get they need to get a couple of decent signings in. But also, if anyone can get away without getting many signings, I do think this team probably could. I think because they're not really like their main strength is their defense, and no one's leaving from that apart from Keane. Actually, that's a good point. that could be.
He was their linchpin though the last season in the Premier League.
When I did this write up, that was before that Keane signing went through, and I didn't go. So, oh well, never mind. But yeah, I still think they'll do well. But yeah. It's still going to be difficult for them. It always is, but I think they'll do well.
Yeah. Right, next one. One of the big boys, Chelsea. Joel.
Well, what can I say? I mean, massive signing Caballero. I mean, it's really given me confidence in that. I think it's going to be
Caballero.
Man City.
Willie.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Has he gone to Chelsea?
Yeah, he's got a
free transfer.
Yeah, just replace.
I heard he went. I didn't realise he went to Chelsea. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Planning on sitting on the sidelines all season.
I think it's definitely going to be a more competitive title race this year because they've pretty much walked away with it. Are they going to win it? I don't know. I've had them. Well, no, I've had them to finish second.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they're going to be able to repeat it. I don't know who they're going to bring in yet. Don't quite know who's going. I haven't heard much on the Chelsea front. I think they're keeping it quite quiet at the minute. I don't know what the rumours are like, but I also think Man City are going to build a strong case, and Tottenham want to keep pushing. So I think I've just had them to finish second.
Yeah. I've got them to win the league. Honestly, I think that they're a really good team. I think that the Costa thing's going to affect them big time if he does leave, but I think that they'll bring in someone really good anyway, so it doesn't really make any difference. They can pretty much get anybody they want, Chelsea. They've got a lot of money. They've got like the fan base there, what a lot of players are attracted to that. They've got the manager there who will be attracted to that. Like, they could bring in pretty much anybody as long as they can agree a fee, basically, because I think any player would want to go to Chelsea at the minute. For me, Conte is the best manager in the league by a mile. I think that he's man management, he sticks to his guns and it always works out good for him. I think he's by a mile the best manager in the league. And I think that the players that they're linked with, if they can get them in, they're going to be really, really tough to play against next season. And I just think they'll walk it. I think another thing what might affect them is the fact that they've got Europe, because obviously they didn't have Europe last season. But all in all, the size of Chelsea squad and the players that they've got, like the talent there, even in the second team that they were put out, is good enough. So it doesn't really make any difference. I honestly think they'll win the league again.
Well, I'm going to beg to differ, mate. I've put them at third. I will admit it's going to be tight. It could go either way for any of the top four, maybe five teams. But put them as third. Just don't think with the potential departure of Costa, he's been their talisman up front, and they'll just lose a bit of attacking edge that they had last season and the season before as well. There's rumours bringing in Lukaku. Will he produce as he has with Everton? I still don't. I'm still not 100% convinced by Lukaku. If he does go to Chelsea, he's been linked today with Man United as well, so it's one of them. It's tough who they bring in. But as they haven't signed anybody yet, and Costa's basically out the door, that's why I put them as third.
Yeah.
I mean, first, I don't see a team.
That's it. I'm off. I've had enough of you guys.
If I'm being honest, I think there is not a team in the Premier League that you can sit there and say will absolutely demolish Chelsea. And I think Chelsea are just head and shoulders at the moment above every team in the Premier League. If they, okay, they've got rid of Ake and they've got rid of Terry, which they're back for, but some of the players that they're bringing in, that is rumoured to bring in, that Rudiger's got a medical. You've got Alexandro linked. Bakayoko is, 50-60% done. You've got Lukaku, who's rumoured to be coming in. All these players, if they manage to get all these players, this Chelsea team's going to be frightening.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's going to be absolutely frightening.
If they get them players.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Regardless, they could keep the squad that they had last year. I think they'll piss the league again.
Yeah.
It's like, of course, Europe, but saying that, this squad is a Champions League capable squad. There's a lot of experienced players in there that are used to playing on the Saturday and then the Wednesday. They're used to doing that. So I don't think Champions League is going to be a problem for Chelsea. I think it's more to the fact that they've got a massive leadership void now. They haven't got their main leader in John Terry. Whether they can replace that with another leader.
Can we stop mentioning John Terry, please? I mean, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
What's the issue here, Joe?
No.
Let's talk about it. What's the issue?
There's no issue. I just could be. He's gone now. So this is the Premier League podcast.
I can sense, there's a bit of resentment going on here.
I don't know.
Just a little bit.
I'm not sure where this comes from. I just think I want to keep it on topic, so I'm keeping it on Premier League. I mean,
but nah, seriously, I feel like about him. They are.
Would Gary Cahill? Sorry, would Gary Cahill not be a
no.
leader?
Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm on about the fact that Terry's been there and has been a leader behind the scenes and on the pitch for 17, 18 years, was it?
Under the sheets.
Yeah.
That was just with the wives.
Yeah, I just feel like I'll put all my eggs in one basket here with Chelsea and say that I think they're going to piss the league again this year, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I think that this year it's going to be probably one of the closest title races we've seen in pretty much since 2012, when it was decided by one, goal difference, with Man City winning it.
Oh, the Aguero.
Yeah, the Aguero.
That one.
Looking at who they've signed, at the moment, they've not really made any big signings. I wouldn't call Willy Caballero a really particularly good signing.
Blockbuster.
He's a good backup, but that's it. What I would say is that with the signings that are potentially coming in, especially Alexandro, who I've been raving about for years, he is an amazing wing-back, easily the best wing-back in the world right now, I'd say. Yeah. He goes forward really well, but his defensive ability is second to none. He's like a modern-day Ashley Cole. You're going to think how Ashley Cole used to go up and down the wings all the time.
Yeah,
he was one of the best defenders in the world as well. So he will make a really big difference to Chelsea, I think, because Alonso did a good job. But I think part of the problem with that was that Alonso, we weren't expecting him to do great, because people in England remembered his days at was it Wigan and Bolton and other clubs like that, and they're never really top end clubs at all. But then he went to Fiorentina, did really well, came to Chelsea, had a really good season last year. I'm not so sure that that's going to be the end of it, though. They may well lose Matic to Man United. They may well lose Costa to the Chinese Super Money League. And I think also bringing in Lukaku, he is a classic Conte player. Just the big man up front, really physical, but can also run in behind very, very well. Hazard and Pedro and Willian will all play off him really, really well, I think. But I have got them down as third. And that's not because Chelsea are going to get worse. I just think everyone else is going to get better. I think that Man City and Spurs are going to make really big improvements. That's a bit of a hint for later on. But I also think that the three centre-backs that they do have, Cahill, David Luiz and Azpilicueta, as good as they are at the moment, they rely heavily on the work rate of pretty much everyone else in the team. I do think if they're tested by properly good attacking teams in the future, in next season, I think they will crumble. Especially seeing, you remember the Liverpool game last season, the Arsenal game, when we beat them 3-0. That was, again, a case of they just could not defend when they put under any kind of pressure. And later on, I think in the season, they started to learn, they got used to the system and they got used to how to defend. So that'll be really interesting to see. But also, they've got Bakayoko. I had him down as a striker, but I'm not sure he is. Is he a midfielder?
He's a holding
He's a
midfielder.
midfielder, yeah.
Holding midfielder. That's
yeah.
right. So him and Kante are going to be really, because I had someone they'd bought another striker or something like that at some point, or they're going to. But Bakayoko and Kante is going to be a really, really good partnership, I think, as well. Those two have got the same kind of really good work rate, but Bakayoko's got a bit more of a swagger about him when he goes kind of Pogba-like almost, which is going to be really interesting to see how that changes the dynamic. He potentially could go in ahead of Matic even if he stays. So we'll have to wait and see. But I've got him down as third because everyone else is going to get better.
So that's the end of episode 1, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. There will be another episode coming out tomorrow. Make sure to go and check out the other guys who were in the podcast. All our links are down below in the description. And if you have enjoyed it, go and smash that like button for us. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.